Ben Patton, chartered accountant, investment management professional, fund manager, and more recently local campaigner. You've lived in the area for about 10 years, but why have you now decided to stand as a Conservative councillor?
We face a very specific set of circumstances right now. We have a local borough council, Guildford, which has decided to produce a draft local plan, and that draft local plan has dramatic consequences for this ward. This ward only has 1,000 houses in it, and the draft local plan proposes to add another 2,000 houses over the course of the next 15 years. That is a revolutionary situation, and it required local people to do something about it urgently.
The Wisley proposal, though, seems to be more specific than many of the proposals in the draft local plan. Do we know anything at all about the people behind the project?
Well, the proposal is very specific because relatively recently, in about 2012, the land was acquired by an offshore company based in the Cayman Islands. And we understand that the Cayman Islands company is owned or controlled by two main parties. One of them is understood to be a Russian property speculator, and the other one is a London-based hedge fund called RAD Capital. Now, obviously there are huge incentives if you can change the use of the land from being agricultural land to being a site for a new town. And it's understood that they may make a profit of hundreds of millions of pounds if they can achieve this transformation. And so they've put a great deal of effort and quite a substantial amount of money into persuading the local authority to give them permission to create a new town.
What about local infrastructure? A new town needs new schools, hospitals, doctors' surgeries, and of course roads. Are these being properly addressed in the local plan?
No, they're not being addressed at all. But it's worth going back to understand why they want to have a new town. The reason they need to have it as a new town is that the site, as it stands, is not a sustainable site. And the only way you can make it sustainable is to make it very big. Because at present, there are no services or facilities of any form on the site. And the only way that they consider that they can attract services to the site is to create a whole new town. So if they were to seek to build 20 houses, 50 houses, 100 houses, they wouldn't be able to show that it was a sustainable development. It's only by going the whole hog and arguing that you can have a new town there that you can make the argument that it's sustainable. Now, they have grave difficulty making the case that it's sustainable, even when they argue for a new town, because it doesn't have the required infrastructure. It doesn't have road transport, and it doesn't have school facilities, and so on and so forth. Now, they promise that they will do all of these things, build these facilities after the event, but local people have no guarantees that these promises will ever be met, and there are, from our point of view, quite a lot of marketing puff which they're doing in order to persuade people to give them planning permission, and we have little conviction that they will follow through after the event.